So I picked up this big piece of poster board. I wanted to have the shape of the Lexus grille on the front and kind of have that working in with this circle. I had the idea of getting a projector to project that image of the Lexus grille onto this so I can trace it, and I'll use that as a way to get the shape, and then I'll have to freehand it to cut out the design. The most important part that I really need is this angle right here. So it'll just be the chrome grille part that I'm copying. So I probably could have just started with the projector on that main piece that I was going to cut out, but I just wanted to be sure the curves were the way that I wanted them to go. I got a piece of hardboard that was laying around, and I'm just going to make a rough shape of this, trim it up a little bit, and then I'm going to transfer that to the main template, and that'll be the one that I'll keep on hand if I ever need it again. There was only one section that I messed up. One part where I had to raise the router bit just a little bit, and it got a little bit past the cardboard template, so it took a little bit more out of the section than I wanted to. But that one's not too hard to fix because this is going to be a straight line anyway. So I'm going to transfer this to the MDF. I'll cut out a piece of MDF that's the same width that this is going to be. That way I can have these two edges perfectly aligned with the top and bottom. And then I just have to put a little bit more focus on this section right here. There's some areas where it gets real tight in the corner. With this section, I wasn't able to get the rabbiting bit all the way through, so I wasn't able to make that channel the way I wanted to. So if I do this again, anytime I make any corners like this, I'll probably make it about this size. Any router bits that have a 1/2 inch bearing will be able to fit in just fine in those areas. I'm using neodymium magnets to attach these panels. They're super strong. They're actually kind of fragile. I've got an odd number here because last project I was doing, I accidentally broke one of them because two of them snapped together real fast and ended up cracking. So this is where we are with the build right now. This front panel is almost done. I just gotta make the sides to make it look like it's part of the vehicle. But I'm at a point right now where I can start to work on the LEDs. These two side sections right here, I'm gonna have some speaker grill cloth in here to cover it up. The reason I wanted to do this was because of the port on the side. I wanted to make it pretty much acoustically transparent. So basically it's just a hole to allow air to flow through. But the LEDs are gonna go in these middle sections. So here, around the woofer, and then on the other side right here. So I got the LED controller here. I cut a section out here just so I could look at the wires because I'll probably be slicing into this piece. So I definitely won't be returning that ever. I soldered these wires onto the ends just so I could test them. RGB LEDs, so they're gonna change colors to whatever we want them to be. But I've already got 3 pieces cut out. I'm trying to drill the least amount of holes possible. You got these 2 sets of wires threaded through this one hole, and I have to solder the wire to the other LED strip right here. So it's really close quarters, but it turns out really clean when it's done. I did have to make some adjustments to this beauty panel piece. Ended up having to chisel out a spot right there. So I was able to get those wires pretty hidden in that corner. Same over here. A couple sections right here where I have these connections. The solder pads on these LED strips aren't really the most durable. So if I had to redo some of the solder points, it actually ended up pulling the pad off. So I ended up having to cut a section off of this LED strip and then connect it to another section so I could get it connected and going through. LEDs go from here around the top, around here, then around the circle, and back here, and then it ends right here. There's an infrared receiver for a remote, but I'm not going to use that because we got the app for it. The app was called Apollo Lighting. We can turn the lights on and off with this button here. And then you can select the individual colors if you wanted to do that. Change the brightness level. There's a music section. I haven't figured out how to use that yet. If you have this one on, it's sound reactive. So it'll change colors. And then style, if you wanted to pulse through all the colors. You got rainbow, you got all the other individual colors, so you could have one solid color. But if you want to download the app, you can scan this QR code and it will take you to it. But when I get everything all set up, I'll just have a single 12-volt power lead, which is going to connect to this controller. So if the box needs to be taken out, you can just pull this front piece off. We'll just have to make sure that it's unplugged before we pull it out all the way.